Rasanya kita dah boleh mula ya, Cik William. Okey, okey. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Selamat datang ke program Hari Terbuka dan Literasi Pitari 2022 yang bertemakan Pitari Discover, Connect dan Inspire. Pihak Pitari mengucapkan terima kasih dan mengalu-alukan kehadiran tuan-tuan dan puan-puan ke program Hari Terbuka.
So that's just the introductions itself. With that, I'll just quickly go into today's main topic, which is on the publications itself. Yeah. So I was saying at Emerald, which is a UK-based publishers, we focuses mainly on the social sciences and our journals. We only have 300 over journals. We are medium-sized publisher. If you compare with Sage, I think Sage were in Unimas yesterday or a few days ago having some workshops. Or if you're listening to other publishers as well, like Science Direct, Taylor and Francis, those are the Taiko lah. Those are the Taiko out there. They have 3,000 over journal. We only have 300 over journal. So our journals collections are focuses on the social sciences and also a little bit specialists on the healthcare, engineering, and library education and library as well. Even though we do not only focuses on journal, we also have extensive coverage on the teaching cases and also on digital books as well, specifically research book, research and references book, not textbook. Right? To hopefully I can give you some, even more confidence level to choose Emerald as your future publication journal. In Emerald, we have 300 over subscription journal, 309 to be precise, and we have about 70 open access journal as of current. Out of 309, from there you can see that 295 out from the 309 is indexed in Scopus. So means 95%, lebih kurang ya, 95% ya, of our journals is at least indexed in Scopus. Definitely, I think everyone is looking for Q1 journal, Q1 or at least Q2, but definitely there are also Q3 and Q4 in the 295 journal. From the 300 over journal, 94 is in JCR and 196 is listed in ESCI, yeah, Clever Analytics too. So hopefully this can give you a confidence level. The indexing, the quality of Emerald Journal is there, ya, memang tinggi ya sekali. So as I was saying, we only have 300 over journal, tak banyak journal we have. Our biggest collection is our business management strategy. There are 56 journal over here, followed by the accounting, finance, economic, 41 journals. Then from then you can see we also have in education, 23 journals, 26 journal in engineering, 32 journal in health and social care, Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, KKM, yeah. KKM also subscribe to our health and social care over here, yeah. Polytechnic also subscribe to our education journal. We also have HRM, 25 journal on the HR, learning and organizational studies, 12 journal on the IT and knowledge management, 16 journal on the library and in the information sciences, example, museum, cultural states, heritage, so and so, yeah. 23 journals covering all about marketing, Islamic marketing, halal, young consumers, and so, yeah. Operation Logistics, 15 journals, property management, 20 journals, public policy, example, Jabatan Perkhidmatan Awam Malaysia, yeah, also subscribe to our public policy, like digital government, e-governance, yeah, e-procurement, public servants, 12 journals onto that. Last but not least, our tourism, 8 journals on the tourism and hospitality itself. To give you an example, what does this subject collections contain? This is just some examples. I did not prepare all of the subject collections. I have prepared the link actually. I prepared the link at the PowerPoint. You can click on the link later here if you want to go deep into that. Example, in the business management strategy for year 2023, 56 journal, out from the 56 journals here, 51 is indexed in Scopus, 13 is accepted in JCR, and 37 is actually listed in ESCI. So this is just an example of some of the journals titles, the impact factors, either they are in SSCI or in ESCI, Scopus and the site score, are they also in ABDC, A, B, C, D, and so and so. So this is on the business management and strategy, covering all about business, business excellence, business ethics and law, business strategy, sustainability business, so and so. Yeah. Another example. All right. So from here you can see 51 in Scopus, 30 in JCR, 37 in ESCI. Our publishing directions is not only focusing on citations, but we are always pushing our research directions here towards research impact, towards a real impact, towards how can your research change or bring positivity, bring provable benefit to the community, to the stakeholders. So one of the example, articles. So this article has been used in the policy paper. Some articles is also linked to SDG. Of course, there are articles that have high downloads, high citations, and some articles also mentioned in the media as well. So this is just some of the example. The link is over here. If you wanted to know more, you can click on the link to understand that better. Another example, this is just another example on HR, Learning and Organization Studies. Only 25 journals in the HRM. Out from the 25, 23 is in Scopus, 7 in JCR, 14 in ESCI here. That covers all about HR, even leaderships, employee benefits, CSR, branding, psychometric, work-life balance, inequality, workplace bullying, so and so, so and so. So again, from here you can see from there are impact factors, high impact factors over here, either they are in SSCI or ESCI, and also in the Scopus index ranking. Yeah? So this is just some of examples. Again, some similar examples where the research paper that's been used in policy, that has been linked to SDGs with high citations or high downloads, and even publishing partners here in either the conference or either with any universities and so. Okay, all right. So this is just to hopefully to give you some examples and confidence level into that. You can go through all this later on. Accounting and Finance, 41 journal, 38 in Scopus, very high here. 7 in JCR, 30 in ESCI. And also the marketing. Interesting enough, if you are investing, if you are focusing on Islamic finance, for example, you can find quite a number of the Islamic banking, Islamic finance, Islamic, sukuk bond, and so and so. You can find all this in the Emerald, as long as the Islamic marketing, halal products, branding, and so and so, so and so. So 23 journals, 21 in Scopus, 12 in JCR, 10 in ESCI. Right. I have say about Emerald in 1967. I just wanted to point out one point. In Emerald, probably you see that probably you notice our downloads or even our citations may not be as high as ScienceDirect or as other publisher out there, but if you are keen on the impact itself here, so this is something that I would like to convince you about. In Emerald, we believe impact starts at the very beginning. Like in any of the publishing journey, either you are a student right now, or if you are a faculty member currently here. So once you have got the research, of course, you will select, you have narrowed down your journals and targeting which journal that you're going to publish. With that, you will start to prepare your manuscript, write a manuscript with the hope to submit and get pass the desk review. Hopefully it get into peer review and get accepted. But the journey does not stop at the publication and dissemination at the promotion level. We in Emerald, we also believe here the impact could be showcase the importance of your research itself. Example, what you mean by impact? Impact is actually the provable change, the benefit here of the research in the real world, what it means to the stakeholders, what it means to people like you and me, or to the government policymakers out there. Yeah. So example, in COVID-19, if there are research about COVID-19, so COVID-19 research, the impact can reduce the mortality rate, the infection rate, the mask itself here, the design of the mask. So many designs out there because of COVID-19 can actually help to reduce the risk of infections, so and so here. So a lot of others research also being done with the objective to improve, example, efficiency, effectiveness, example, students are learning during the COVID-19 time, or the engagement between the students and teacher during the online learning, so and so. So this is actually mean by the impact. Even though the research has been conducted at university, who will normally read the article? Let's say you have published an article here. Who will normally read your paper and your article? Most of the time, when the research has been conducted, by the researchers and published in the journal, you may see that the circle does not go out. It will still goes inside the university or to your peers from other university. In Emerald, we wanted to break down this circle. We wanted to break down this, this invisible wall, where we wanted to showcase, where we wanted to lead here, wanted to lead the research impact to the society, to the stakeholders, because we believe the research that conducted in university should be felt by the society, by the stakeholders out there. So this is actually what you mean by the impact. Yeah. So yep, that is basically just something to give some different mindset. Citations and download is important, but again, the research landscape globally has been changed. In the Europe country, in the European and US country, if you're applying for grant, if you're applying for funding for research, just purely looking at download and citation and publications will not help to get the funding. Nowadays, the funders will focus on the real impact, will focus on the research impact. How can this help to the stakeholders of their company, or to the community, or to the society? Yeah? So that is the changing landscape of research. So publications, there are many routes to publication itself. You can choose which venue that would be suitable for your work itself. Most of us are very familiar with journal, publish article in journal. Yeah. So example, you can publish article in Emerald Journal. 95%, even more than 95% of Emerald Journal is actually indexed in Scopus. More than 63% is also indexed here in ESCI, which is kind of analytics. Fun fact that I mentioned earlier, it's actually free to publish in Emerald Journal. It's actually free to publish in our normal issue itself. If you wished to publish in the to have your article in the open access article, you probably will need to pay an APC of 2,400 over pound to publish in to publish as an open access article. If you do not have that particular budget or that particular necessity, so just to publish normally, that is okay as well. So it's actually free to publish in Emerald Journal. How about book? Do you know? If you do not know, I hope I can interest you more. Publish a book. How many of you have published a book? You can put that into the chat. Publish a book in Emerald. If you have a book if you have a book edited, by you that published in Emerald, the book itself will be indexed in Scopus. Yay! Not only into that, to publish a book in Emerald is actually free. You do not need to pay to publish a book in Emerald. As a matter of fact, if you are the book editor, Emerald will also give you back royalty, a small percentage lah, not a big one, tak besar lah. It's a small percentage as a royalty from the sales of that particular book itself. So that is also given back to the book editor. So that is for book. If you want to have your book in the open access book, well, again, you will need to pay a certain amount of money, either 6,000 or 9,000, depends on the number of words. For a short form book, 6,000. For a long form book, 9,000 to publish an open access book. Yeah. So that's for book. It's free to publish. It's going to be index Scopus, and the book editor is also have the luxury, a small luxury to have a royalty for any of the book sales. How about teaching cases? We have teaching cases in Emerald, similar as the Harvard teaching cases. Harvard teaching cases in Emerald, we call it emerging market case study. Our emerging market case study is indexed in Scopus. Currently, it's a Q4 Scopus. You are free to publish teaching cases in our case journal. There is currently no open access here for our teaching cases. So it's actually free to publish. And if you have a case published in our EMCS, in our case journal, every case will also entitle £100 given back to the case authors. So this is just to motivate the case, to say thank you to the case writer to submit the case in Emerald itself. Last but not least, which is the Emerald Open Research. If you're looking into a rapid publications, if you're wondering, can I publish within 2 weeks or 2 months times? 2 weeks to 2 months times here. So we do have this, which is called the Emerald Open Research. It's super duper fast. It only takes between 2 weeks to 2 months. 2 weeks to 2 months to actually publish the article. The article will be in open access format. Open access format, and the peer review. The review is also conducted via the open access review itself. Yes, this is the only gateway, the only venue that you must pay. So you must pay between 800 to 1,300 US dollar in order to publish in the Emerald Open Research gateway. Yeah? So this is the only one that you need to pay a PC. While for the rest of it, you do not need to pay. It's only optional if you need your content to be in the open access. So now, if I do, so far, any questions from the floor so far? I want to see the chat lah. Sorry, cannot see the chat. How to see the chat? There you go. Oh, okay. Oh, this chat is here. Right. Chat. Okay. All right. Okay. No. Thank you for all the comments on the chat. And oh, hi, Dr. Evan. Yeah, let's do a Emerald Book project. I'm actually working on a workshop with University Malaya, hands-on workshops on writing a book proposal, writing a book proposal. So if you're interested, I can share that once the workshop has been designed. Yeah? So now, how to actually get published? So this particular content is actually shared by our publisher in UK. If you have been listening to a lot of speakers out there, we have Dr. Evan, we have Prof. Phua, we have so many authors, researchers, academics that have been you have been heard them speaking in so many webinars, and every one of them have their priorities, their key points, which is actually to which points to actually focuses, which point is actually helping them to actually publish. While my presentations is actually from the publisher perspective. So the number one is how to actually select the right journal. Selecting right journals is obviously it's important because it's an investment decisions here. There are so many factors for you to look into. Example, the readership, what are the recent articles that published in the journal itself? Does the article or does the journal reach out to the societies, to the internationality readerships? What kind of acceptance levels and time frame does the journals look into? Of course, in public university, rankings is also important. So if there's a need to meet the KPI, example Q1, Q2 Scopus, or in SSCI, ESCI, right? So you can also look into the journal listings to see which one is under the indexing as well. Yeah? So this is just to find the right journal. All in all, you can actually read this on your own. I just wanted to summarize some of the key points that I have been hearing, and I've been listening from other speakers as well. Last but not least, one of the key example of finding a right journal is know the journal that you are targeting, know your research, and know the journal that you are targeting. So make sure that your research, your articles here, your manuscript fits into the journal aim and scopes, fits into the journal subject area. So this is important because most of the rejection out there, rejections via the desk rejections happens not only because of the quality, because of the writing, because of the formatting, but most of it actually happens because of the scope and the alignment between the manuscript and the journal aim and scope does not align together. If you find it difficult to understand what William was trying to say earlier, I will going to give a silly joke. I'm going to give a silly example. Let's imagine every one of us right now goes into KFC. So we are going to KFC. KFC counter will ask you, oh, do you want to dine in or take away? Let's say dine in. We're going to have a dine in. So KFC will ask you, what do you want to order? Yeah, how can I help you today? What do you want to order? So for me, then I'll say I would like to order a Happy Meal. Yeah, I will start to say I want to order Happy Meal. So if I were to say that, what do you think the KFC people will do? So probably the KFC people will look at me, right? Will look at me and say, Oh, yang ni budak main-main ke? Yang ni budak kena tampar ke? Datang to KFC, you go to KFC, but you order Happy Meal. Doesn't make sense, right? So, it's just a silly example, but I hope it demonstrates the meaning of know your manuscript, know your research, know the journal that you're actually targeting. If you think that you're actually writing a McDonald's, please do not send it to KFC journal. It just does not match, and the journal cannot accept you. Because of that, journal will decline you. Yeah. So if you're writing a KFC, then yes, find journal that actually serve KFC. So that is just to give you an example of that, right? If you are a new author, new students, starting to have your first manuscript, first publication itself, these are some of the questions for self-thinking, for self-answering. Have you completed a project successfully? Are you still writing without clear solutions? Are you still writing your discussions area? So this is something to know, are you ready to submit or not ready to submit here. So in terms of writing, I do have a video clip. If you're not able to hear the video, please do let me know. I'm going to play the video right now.
Hi, I'm Greg Marshall, and I serve as editor for the European Journal of Marketing, or EJM. EJM is proud to be part of the Emerald stable of marketing and business journals. One other thing just to talk about a little bit, and that is, how do you make sure as an academician that you're doing a great job of making an impression and getting into a good journal? Well, let me give you just a few key tips. First of all, pick the right journal. Look at your topic, make sure that your topic is a topic that's a good fit for that journal, and then do all of your homework to find out what the expectations of that journal are. It's always posted online on the journal's website. Secondly, once you've picked your journal, then make sure that you put your very best foot forward on that first manuscript. Yep, first impressions are important, and especially important because often you'll just get one opportunity to get this manuscript reviewed by your selected journal. Make sure you follow all the guidelines, and make sure that you write a manuscript that's the best possible manuscript that you could write. Then maybe you'll be fortunate enough to get a letter back from the editor a month or so later saying that you have the opportunity to revise. That's great. Getting the opportunity for a revision is a gift, and so don't blow it. If you get a revision opportunity, you want to follow the advice of your reviewers and the editors to the letter. You want to get that back as quickly as possible into the hands of the reviewers, and at that point, your odds go way up that you'll actually get a favorable outcome.
Right, so that is comments here from the editor-in-chief. So to summarize that,
Hi, I'm Greg.
To summarize that from Prof. Greg Marshall here. So what makes a good paper? What are the editors and the reviewers out there are all looking forward to? All in all, this is very similar to every of the presentation out there. You may see editors, editor-in-chief, they will be sharing all of these things. So one is it, which is the originality. I almost forgot. We do have a webinar tomorrow. Probably I'm going to say that later at the end. Okay. Sorry, just some off topic here. So yep, originality and value. Editors of journals, in order to make sure that they actually meet the impact factors, the Q1, or a very good citations for their journal itself. A lot of editors are constantly seeking for original values or original research area, research topics, and so. So is there any new thing on a certain subject, or new treatments, or new results, and so and so? So this is something editors definitely looking forward to. So, but let's face it, not many research can be original. They are where got so many original out there, right? Of course, some journals, they are also looking into research gap. You probably heard this a lot, yeah. Talking about research gap area, where to find the research gap. You can see all this from the journal information, journal special issues, or so research gap or the extensions, relevancies to the existing knowledge. So this is also what journal editors and reviewers are actually looking forward to. Methodology, wow, quantitative, qualitative, mixed methodology. If you're on SEM, if you're in PLS, it could be SEM, it could be CB, yeah? It could be so many others more, SPSS, and so many other social methodology that I mentioned earlier, not including the technical or the sciences and methodology as well. So are those methodology has valid conclusions? Is it objectively, does it actually present a solid methodology parameters that actually proved the hypothesis that you are discussing about here? Clarity, structure, and quality of writing, does it communicate well? This is, well, to me, is important. Maybe because I'm not a scholar, I'm not on the academic yet. Reading an article is quite a challenge here for me. There's so many terms that I need to Google in order to read fully an article. To me, as a reader, definitely I would prefer simple and easy to read, writings flow. So keep that as simple as possible. Communicate well. You may not need to use too bombastic language, sentences, or write up into that. Yeah. If you look into top rank journals, Q1 journal, or high impact factors journal out there, you probably notice that most of the articles do not spend a lot of words on the chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Sorry, there you see most of them will actually put a lot of efforts, writing efforts, efforts into the discussion chapter, where they wanted to highlight their arguments, to prove the solidity of their discussions of the hypothesis. So this is important to see the argument and the discussions of it. Theoretical and practical implications, the SOA factor. Example, why do you do this? I mean, why do you pick this research topic? How can this research topic, help the community or help the people out there? How can it contribute to SDG? The SOA factor. Why you actually doing this particular research? Is it just because of graduate? Is it because just of KPIs and so and so? So this is the some things to self-think. Yeah, recency and relevance of references. Now this is interesting. A few years back, if you can see articles from previous years, you may find that quite a number of articles can either quote or refer to 10 years, 15 years previous articles or references. Recently, you can see a shift of recent papers. Recent papers that published always refers to recent years publications into their citations, into their relevancy. Yeah? So this is something to take note. Try to refer to the recent 3 years, recent 5 years, not too far or too old away. Does your content reach out to the international level, to the global focus, or is it just for the nationality, or is it just for the Sarawak focus or Kuching focus only, right? Of course, being a journal editor or any journal, owner, definitely the context here, the readership, hopefully it could reach out more international level, more people that can be relates to, that can read. The more downloads and the more citations that it can be, that it can hopefully contribute. Definitely one of the key that I've mentioned in earlier, my KFC and McDonald's joke, which is the editorial scope and objective of journal. Always always make sure that your manuscript always make sure your manuscript match to the journal aim and scopes here. So this is extremely important. Last but not least, good title, keyword, and well-written abstract. So this is the impressions that you need to have when you submit your manuscript. When an editor first receive your submissions, they will read the title, the keywords, and also the abstract. A well-written abstract will then give the editor, give the reviewer the impressions to either reject directly or to give them a second chance here to read further, to actually assign reviewers, so and so. So this is very important. Right, just to give a little bit more context to how you're structuring your manuscript, your paper itself, title and keywords. A good title should contain fewer possible words, but also enough here adequately describes the contents of the paper. So it introduces the paper, it must be catchy to the reader's eye, and also able to identify the focus of the work or the research itself. So this is what a title would best be. While for the keywords, so why keyword is important? Keyword important is because if you have the not to say correct keyword, but if you have high keyword search, that will basically put your paper, your manuscript on the page 1 or page 2 of the result. Hence, this will actually give more readerships, more downloads, more citations into that. So that is actually where the keywords basically contributes. How can we improve the keyword? Now, to improve the keywords, my advice would be read a few articles, read a few articles from the same journal, or some articles that have high citations or high downloads in the same topic. In the same topics, probably you will know there are some articles that have high downloads, high citations, so and so, right? Look into that, look into the paper itself, study and understand what keywords they are actually using. Probably you may want to use the same keyword, or you may probably want to reuse a keyword or change one or two keywords so that it can be relevant to your manuscript search later. Introductions mainly refers to the chapter 1, which is talking about problem statements. Why are you even invest here your times to do this hypothesis, to do this research, to do this, to address to this research, right? So this is mainly the chapter number 1. I still remember in 2020 when COVID first hit us on that year itself. There are so many webinars ongoing. One of the webinar was students defense by that was organized by UTM, UTM KL campus, and Prof. Phua, at the time still Dr. Phua here. Dr. Phua at the time and Prof. Phua at the time actually was one of the key commenters, the key panelists to comment to the student presentations. he actually made a very great questions specifically, addressing the importance of the chapter 1. Why are you doing a problem? Why are you doing this particular research? Has this research has previous paper that has been published before? If it's yes, what are the results from the previous one, and why are you still pursuing? Why are you still pursuing doing this research? If someone have already done that, why are you still doing this particular research? So this is something that you probably want to refer here in your chapter 1 itself. Another perspective that hopefully you may think about would be the problem could be the recent problem, it could be the current issue, it can also be future issue as well. So besides then looking back, probably we can also be Doctor Strange to actually look slightly into the future. Are you actually looking into current issue or issues that is currently happening and even up to the future? To give an example, SDG. UN SDG, they have so many goals out there, and some of the goals are addressing certain target at certain year. As an example, reducing carbon footprint by year 2030 year. So this is current challenge up to 2030 challenge. How has this problem has been dealt with? What are the research is, and how can we work into that? So this is something that probably would give you some idea to better write your introductions. Probably you heard this again. You may not need to invest so many words here. You may not need to invest your time in chapter 1, chapter 2, or chapter 3. Just write the adequate context to address the issues, the limitations. Why are you actually doing this particular research? How can this research different from the previous one? That should sufficient for your chapter 1. So chapter 2 normally will be a literature. So it depends on how many literatures that you want to to actually write it into that. Chapter 3 normally refers to the methodology. Again, you may not need to invest a lot of times and words into chapter 3 itself. It's actually enough here to demonstrate the methodology that you use, that you choose is robust enough. It's actually solid enough. It's actually concrete enough to justify the use in your research for the data gatherings and so on. So just focus into that and focuses on the methodology and how this aligned on how this can address to your problem statements. If there's any details that you wanted to add on, either in a table format or in if you're doing PLS ICM, probably you have the table or the parameter from itself. If you wanted to actually include that, you can also include that as the appendixes. So chapter 4 normally we'll be going into the results, talking about the results of the finding itself. So from the methodology that you've been using, probably referring to the statistics. Is it something that is significant? Is it something that that is actually should be coming from the methodology that you've been using, so, right? So again, you can also include the tables, some of the percentage or some of the highlighted points in the tables or pictures or any other details which you can include in the appendixes. Discussion is the, well, to me, I would like to ask you to focus on this more. Discussion should be your biggest part of your write-up. this is actually where you shine. Yeah, I mean where your paper shine, not you shine. Where your paper, are able to tell the editors, able to be the X factor in your paper itself. So the interpretations of your results. So you can actually talk about the of course the consistency. Is it consistent with the previous research paper? Is it yes? Then say why is it yes? No, it's not consistent. Then why is it no? Is there any parts that actually address to the problem statements in these discussions that you want to address to? What are the limitations that you may find during the research process itself, and has this particular journey of this particular process lead to a solid conclusions or something that you are able to justify and defend on upon. So this is discussions. Discussions normally would give a good idea on how a good idea to editor, to reviewer on how you understand your own research well enough. If you do not understand your own research well enough, then normally they will say that the quality of the research is weak. The discussions here or the justifications to the research is weak. So all these mainly or normally refers to the discussion chapter over here. So yep, there will be that. Just focuses on your problem statements. Do not go beyond that. You do not need to make any third-party statements, or you do not need to even introduce a new challenge, a new idea, or new terms into your discussion. Just focus on your problem statements. Yeah. Conclusions. Well, conclusions is the most easiest, I would think. Normally, you do not spend a lot of words, 100 words maybe good, something like that, 100 or 200, something abstract. Yeah. So this is basically for you to summarize again of your problem and the methods that are being used and the conclusion of it. For you to reaffirm your hypothesis, your answers to that you found via your research itself. Is there any limitations or is there any implication for future research? Any research gap that you probably wanted to invest or you like other researchers to do in the near future? You can also put into the conclusion. This is not a joke. I have read a manuscript before, and one of the conclusion, they just copy paste the abstract. Please, please do not copy paste your abstract and put it into your conclusion. I also don't know how should I comment on that. So yeah, do not copy paste your abstract, or do not just make a copy paste abstract into your conclusion itself. Do not make any new materials, new problem statements, or anything that actually contradicts your research or even you yourself here in the conclusion. All in all, this basically some tips, some ideas on how to write, or how to improve the writings, and how editors and reviewers think about a good paper itself. Last but not least, that would be more on the quality of the writing, polishing your work. So definitely, if you are probably weak in English writing, looking for proofreader, that would be a good idea. I think there are a number of proofreading services. There's one in Penang. There's actually one also in Klang Valley that they charges by number of words or number of pages, right? If I'm mistaken. So you can actually engage, if you have the budget, you may engage all these author services here to have the proofreadings, and so if you do not have it, probably you can start by looking into the grammar mistakes, the spelling mistake, the punctuations, the sentences, the flow, the transitions of your sentences itself. Definitely recheck again your table, your mathematical, your formula, your statistics contents, your references, so and so, so and so. All in all, know your own common mistakes. If you are not sure about it, you can either use the spell checker software to do all this checking for you, or else you can get your supervisor, you can get your peers, you can get your friends from other universities to actually read your draft, ask them to comment, so that they can actually hopefully they can actually give some good comments, improvement area to better the manuscript itself. So when ready, the last step, always make sure that you have chose the right journal. Make sure that your research, your manuscript match the journal aim and scope, right? So make sure that it actually fits to the aim and scope itself. Then once you actually have make sure of that, check the formats, the author guidelines, and the referencing itself. Example, in Amoro, do you know Amoro abstract is not one full paragraph? It's not 200 words. It's not 150 words, one paragraph. Amoro abstract is called structured abstract, which is something like point form. It's a point form basis. So if you were to submit one paragraph abstract to Amoro journal, most of the time, 90% of the times will be rejected due to formatting issue here. So referencing, Amoro is using APA style, APA style or Harvard style. So we have to check again to see which styles they're actually using and so on. All right. So once you submit, you can go into the submissions portal. In the submissions portal, you can then click on submissions portal and submit that to the Amoro. Amoro is using Scholar One manuscript. Amoro is using Scholar One manuscript, so you can actually use your ORCID ID to register a profile. To register a profiles and submit into that. Example, so if you go into our corporate website, so this is our corporate website, Amoro Group Publishings. I'm an author and I want to find a journal. So click on here, that will bring you to our journal finder. Over here, you can browse, you can type the keyword for the journal type name, or you can browse by subject collections. Let's say HR. So if I click HR here, then it will filter the HR journal for me. So example, I will just use this, just example. Human Resource Management, HRM journal. So once you're into here, you can see that this is the description of the journal and this is the aim and scope of the journal. So what is this journal is looking forward to? What is the journal is looking for? Sorry. The topical issues, the attributes, the key benefits, and what are the coverage subject area or sub areas. If you wanted to engage, or if you wanted to reach out to the editorial team, you may even do so by here. You can see who is the editor-in-chief, the editorial board members, and so and so, and the author guidelines that actually give you about the formattings, the number of words, the author formats, and so and so. Yeah. So yeah, here you go. The formats submitting in Microsoft Word, the number of words of the articles. Oh, this is a very short article, right? 600 to 1,300 words only. Wow, super short article. Author details, biography, research structure, abstract over here, and so, right? So this is the author guideline and the submissions. So once you're ready, you can actually submit into that. So the indexing and ranking, you may even find that over here. Some have Scopus, some have Clever Analytics. So to submit to the journal, just you may probably see the very first button just below the title of our journal, which is called the submit. Click on submit your portal here. Sorry, submit your paper here. it will brings you to our to the Scholar One manuscript powered by Clever Analytics. So over here, you will need to create an account. You may do so by using your ORCID ID. So once you create an account using ORCID ID, you can then log in to this Scholar One manuscript and submit your manuscript and also the cover note itself. So this is about the submission portal. Okay, it's 3. So far, any questions? Okay, because of time issues, I would like to go on slightly on which I think is actually important, peer review. There are
The questions.
oh yes sir.
Yeah, there is one from CJ. Must the book be research related?
Master book in Hi Paniwas.
Hi.
CJ, give me 1 second.
There is 2 questions from her there.
Oh, okay, right. Must the book be research related? Yes, Emerald publish a research book, mainly research book, or can be training module, any script in type of content. Yes, Emerald also publish teaching book, teaching or training book as well. It's not our popular type of book to publish. Our focuses are mainly on the research and references book. But yes, we do take in training book and training module book as well. Recently, I just came to I just got an email from Singapore where the academic is teaches a database. Teaches a computer database management. So one of the book, inside the book that he purchased has teaching resources. So he actually emailed to me and asking, hey, William, this book says there is a teaching resources. How can I redeem that? So I actually forwarded his request to our content team in UK for them to get them to send the Singapore academics the teaching the additional teaching resources. So yep, so there are books that covers the training side or the teaching side, but not going to 90%. I would say majority of Emerald books is actually in research related. Thank you for the question. Right. I'll go into the peer review moving forward. There are a few tiers: single blind, double blind, triple blind, and open peer review. Most of the publisher out there, Elsevier, Taylor Francis, Emerald, we all adopt the double blind peer review. Double blind peer review simply means that the author and also the reviewer does not know each other. So the author name is not known by the reviewer. When the reviewer have made the comments, send it back to the author does not know who are the reviewer. So this is meant by the double-blind peer review itself. And you're probably going to see more and more in this year or probably next year. Next year onwards, you'll see more and more what we call open peer review. Open peer review is a new concept where the article that you publish is actually open access article, and which is in the open gateway article, and the review is conducted on the website itself. So anyone can read the review comments, and anyone can also comment on the article or the manuscript itself. So it's basically a double-edged sword here. It's good to be in open, open to read and open to review, but it's also dangerous if someone that is that could be how should I say it? Could be challenging on writing a good review onto that. So that would be something that to look forward to. So yeah, this would be some this slide will be the last slide for my sharings here. Peer review process. Peer review process basically from the submissions up to the acceptance level. So once you have prepared your manuscript and you're ready to submit, go to the journal portal. It's the same for any, either in Emerald or in any other publisher. Go to the journal homepage. In the journal homepage, normally you may find the submission link. Click on the link and submit into the submission portal. So once you submit into that, so what happens? The first thing is that normally the editor-in-chief or the associate editors, editor-in-chief or the associate editors will then perform this stage called the desk review. So desk review happens over here. So the editors will read the title, the keywords, the abstract of the manuscript itself. So from there, they will determine whether the content, is it matched with the journal aim and scope. It will also look into the formatting. Does your abstract has the same or required format as the journal itself? So if the content match the journal, then probably they will consider to go into peer review process. If the formatting is okay, is acceptable, it may consider into that. But more than 65% rejection happens over in this stage. More than 65% rejections happens here because the manuscript does not match the journal objectives, does not match the journal aim and scope. Because of that, the editor reject here. Some could be due to the formatting. Again, if you submit a paragraph abstract to Emerald Journal, you're going to have a risk of being desk rejected straight away because we do not accept one paragraph abstract. Our abstract is actually in structured abstract, which is a point form. So that again will actually increase the rejection rate over right here. So over here, I also like to provide additional tips. If you did not use this, probably you would like to try this out. Please include a cover letter. So when you submit your manuscript, in the submission portal, you may also find another field called the cover letter. I'm not too sure, is it mandatory? The last I checked was optional. So to me, I would encourage the participants today to include a cover letter. So in a cover letter, so what do you need to include in a cover letter? Just half a page or probably one A4 page, that will be enough. In the cover letter, you may want to say who are you, which university and which faculty you're coming from. Talk about your research, your manuscript, and how does your research, your manuscript align with the journal aim and scopes. Example, hi, dear editor, my name is William. My research talks about business sustainability. And I believe my research, covers some of the objective of the journal. Example, my research aligned with the business sustainable practices, the ethics and law, the processes that this journal is looking forward to. So there is that. Then after that, you may also add on a thing that I would think that my article, I would like to think that my articles may able to attract readers internationality or all around the world, where researchers or students from the business area can read, can refer, can cite my research on this particular subject area. Over here, I would like to get the editor to consider my research and give an opportunity for a review. Thank you. So that would be a cover letter. A cover letter is something that we go for interview for us to sell ourselves to the editor. Yeah. So you are not able to do that in any way. You are not able to write that in your manuscript or in the submission portal. The only place that you can convince here or ask the editor to give you a second chance is via the cover letter. So yep, cover letter is something something hopefully can benefits you. So once, let's say you have got past the desk review, the editor will then select up to 3 reviewers, normally two or three reviewers to review the manuscript. They will also give a time frame. Some journals are very short, 2 weeks. Some journals can go up to 2 months. Depends on journal, depends on their processes. Yep. So some could, between 1 to 2 weeks, they have finished their review. Some could goes up to months, depends on the process over here. So once the reviewer has put in their recommendations, the editor will then receive it, and then it will actually read the comments and also make the final decisions. The editor will then take into the account and then decides whether to accept the manuscript, to revise the manuscript, or to reject the manuscript itself. Hardly you will see first submissions will get accepted. There are instances, but rare. Yeah. Most of the time you may see that you will be asked to either go for minor revision or major revisions. Depend on minor or major, then the editor will send it to the authors. The authors are given a time frame to revise and resubmit again. So once the author resubmit again, the editor will then send it back to the reviewers, and you will see this process will goes on again for the second time. It could go into the third time, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so. Depends, how well the revisions can be done. So in hope that the revisions done could bring us to the accepted status. But sometimes some revisions may go to the wrong directions. Hence, it may also get rejected even after a revisions itself. So if it's rejected, please do not feel sad about it. You can ask the editor why the paper is being rejected. Can I try that again? So and so, yeah. So basically, this is the peer review process. I think basically that request for revision is a good thing. Always set a deadline, and follow the time frame. Send it back to the reviewer. Send it back to the editor. Yeah. So if you disagree with the comments, well, you can actually explain that to the editor. Try your best not to argue. There is no point arguing with the viewer or the editor. So if you disagree, if you think that they do not understand what you are trying to do, make the efforts to explain to the editor and also to the reviewer itself. The best part is just also again include a cover letter, mainly in a table format. Either table or point form format, where you would like to list out the revision that been requested. Have you been revised that? Yes and no. What are the revisions that being completed or being done? Put that into that. That would definitely help the reviewer to quickly refresh what has been what review has been asked previously, and have you made the revisions or not? If it's rejected, please don't give up. You can ask and can listen, try to improve and resubmit again. A lot of my friends in the research from the university, from the academic side, even editor-in-chief, his paper also being rejected by another journal. So it is unfortunately a normal situation. It is just not to give up, try and improve, and resubmit again when you are ready. Yeah. So basically, that's all from the publication guide itself. I will going to share my slides with Hujida, and hopefully the library will able to send my slides, share with the participants for today. You may probably even see, if you're interested in books example, So why publish a book? I don't think I need to convince you to publish a book. But if you wanted to know about the publishing process, we can do another webinar, another sessions on specifically on this. If you are interested on writing teaching cases, again, publish a teaching cases in Emerald is free, and teaching cases has been extensively used in the past few years. In Emerald, we are not only focuses on writing the teaching case, we also hopes to demonstrate how to use the teaching cases to teach effectively in your classroom environment. So this has been conducted this year by Dr. Michael Gorman, our editor-in-chief for the emerging market case study. The YouTube is here. You can rewatch that to see how the teaching cases can be used to teach the postgraduate, the senior undergraduates, students as well. Every year we are doing a competitions in Malaysia. I'm so proud in Malaysia. We have office in Malaysia. We can do a lot of amazing collaboration together. So one of the case competition is ending this year. Last 2 years ago, we have the Malaysia case writing competition 2020. Last year, we have Indonesia case writing competition 2021. And this year, we have the a small Asia case writing competitions open to case writer from Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Thailand. It's actually closing 31st of December this month, this year itself. And submissions would be directly to the case journal, which is the emerging market case studies itself. So the submissions will entitle for the competitions and also entitle for the publications. Either it could be both or either one, on that. So I think that covers all and all. So if you have questions on how to disseminate, how to promote your articles, your books, these are some of the tips. If you're asking about ethics, do and don't, specifically on the plagiarisms and copyrights, there are some over here. You can actually go through into that. And if you have any questions, you may ask me. You can ask me right now. If not, you can also reach out to me via my email address, or you can WhatsApp me on my phone number over here. So I think that is my last slide kan? Last slide lah rasanya. Last slide dah. Yes. Is it okay? I hope okay. I hope my delivery tak laju sangat ya.
It's okay, Mr. William.
Okay.
I think in chat box we don't have any question. There are no question from our participant.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to voice up right now, or you can put it into chat. There is a feedback form link in the chat. So please give me area of improvement.
Okay.
I always lah. Dulu I always got this. Whenever I got excited, I tend to speak very fast.
So far for me, it's okay for me.
Okay, okay. Kalau macam tu ada improvement sikit. If there's any questions regarding about publications or regarding about Emerald or just a general understanding about journals, books, or cases, or any other collaborations together with Emerald, feel